Hey, what's up, everyone? I want to make a quick video just showing off some female customs I made. I've been working on. First off is this rogue that I've been working on. Well, I just finished. I finished her today. It's a moonstone body. It has, I don't know what series is Black Canary from, but it's a Black Canary head and her jacket and these cuffs from her glove. I used those. I cut them off her arm and I just dremelled a hole through them and I just put them over the forearm, over the wrist. So it's a moonstone body. I used black cats, upper arms and her thighs and her boots. I used black cat's boots. I sculpted this. I sculpted her boot cuffs. I think that's what they're called. And this belt, I don't know where this belt's from. Here's the back side. I did a blue wash. First I did a black, then I dry brushed brown over the hair. Then I went in with a white, did all the white strands. Then I went in with a blue wash to bring out to give it shading, give it depth. Oh, and these cuffs from her jacket actually come from that Black Canary figure too. I cut them off her jacket or from her arm, whatever, and I just placed them on there. She has like an anime look to her. A lot of people think so. I really didn't mess around with her face a lot. I just repainted her eyes green. And these are actually decals. I put decals on her jacket. Yeah, this rogue, this was a commission. It's like my fourth version I've done of her. This is another one I completed. It's Shuri. She's the female Black Panther. She's Black Panther's sister, I think. Yeah, I did sculpting. I did a lot of sculpting on her. This is a Satana body with black cat's forearms and gloves. I mean, and hands. What else is black? That's it. I sculpted these bands around her thigh. This was from Steve Rogers, I think. Yeah, Steve Rogers. And I sculpted these straps too around her ankles and feet. I did the bluish gloves like the classic Black Panther with lines too. Let me try to focus. You can kind of see it. Yeah, and her cape belongs to Hope Summers. Hope Summers cape. I trimmed this front part off. Let me try to remove it. Oh, there she is. Sculpted the fur. It's alright. I mean, I still need to work more on my hair sculpting details. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. This one's like kind of in the middle. It's hard to figure out sometimes the patterns. Trying to figure out the pattern, the flow of the hair. This is more fur, so I just kind of went with it. I just really didn't worry that much about it, so it looks good still. It's removable. I put a little hole back here, so it has a peg. You put it on, it fits in there perfectly. This head was what head was this? Madam Hydra head. Just trimmed her chin down a little bit, resculpted the mouth, cheekbones, the upper part of the head. Added the little panther ears, whatever. Ah, there she goes. Little black, just a flat black. Airbrush some blue highlights, some blue tones. She looks nice. This was a commission too. She's finished. These two are finished. The other ones I'm still working on. This is actually a Valkyrie spear. Fits perfect with her. Over here we have let's do this one because she's almost done. This is the Uncanny X-Force Psylocke. Her arms still need to be, I still need to finish her arms. I was going with a kind of glossy white, silvery white color for the, instead of the gray. I was trying to match her with that new Storm that just came out. But I just saw that, I don't know, they went together. The colors were exactly the same, but in the comics, I saw that Rogue, a lot of Spyro, Psylocke had that grayish color, and Storm was the one that really was the only one that had that white color to her costume. So I just decided to repaint them and do a gray, and threw black shadowing under with airbrush. Yeah, I still need to add the highlights too, of the blue tones on the arms. Yeah, I made this too out of hot glue. First time doing it, it actually came out nice. Her size sword, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I used actually Storms, that new Storm body, Electra feet, and Electra hands. This is from one of the Danger Girl, I don't know what her name is, but it's that Danger Girl set with those 3 females. She had a nice head on there. I've had that head there for a while. I was going to use her before, but I kept her for myself. So I was like, when I make myself this version of Psylocke, I'll just use her on my custom. I know one of the main things with customs is a lot of paint rub, and some people have that's the biggest problem when it comes to customizing, is eliminating paint rub. It's simple, man. The simplest thing is just sand. You need to sand the joints down, kind of create a little surface texture. Not that bad, you know, just enough so that the paint adheres to the plastic. So that's really the solution. Take it apart, sand all the joints down. I don't like trimming joints because it looks weird. I've seen some customs in person, and they trim the joints, they trim the knee joints, and you could see where they sliced it. I don't know, I don't like it. I don't think it's necessary. As long as you sand, you take it apart, you sand the knee joints, the elbows, you just sand those pieces down and just create a little bit of surface texture, and you're good, you know. Not horrible. Don't create a crazy surface texture. Just use a fine sandpaper. You know, you'll feel the difference. And once you feel that little texture there, you know the paint's gonna adhere to it. So that's that Uncanny X-Force Psylocke, and here's the Uncanny X-Force Spyro. She's actually a big hit. A lot of people like her. This is the second one I've made. The first one that I made, I used the Satana body base, which is the same as these two over here. This one's actually that new Storm body. What I don't like about this figure, I have a huge complaint, is that the knee joints are too rubbery. They're too rubbery, and she's kind of a little bit tall. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna splice her thighs, shorten them down a little bit, and just resculpt them and repaint it, and probably do the same thing with these fur boots. Cut around there, take off, you know, I don't know, centimeter, I don't know what to say, but take off a piece, you know, and put it back and resculpt it to hide the seam. Shorten her down a little bit. These bodies are kind of tall. All these new bodies are kind of tall. Yeah, you see she's real loose. Her knees, I think I'm going to replace those knees with a Hope Summers knees or something, which is the same. It's the same knees. It's just that the material they used here, it sucks, man. The material for that rubber. Yeah, I didn't even go over that figure. Take all these swords. All these hands are Hope Summers hands. I just heat them up and glue that index finger to the hand too. Instead of having that trigger finger, she has those hands to grab swords or whatever. Yeah, swords. These are all Hope Summers arms, which is the same arm as the new Storm arms. It's the same arms. I get asked, how did you put them on there, and how did the articulation? Take this head off. Yeah, I just dremeled a hole. First I dremeled a hole. I dremeled the socket. Then I dremeled the peg hole. But it's tricky because you need to dremel the holes to where they don't intercept this peg. So it's kind of tricky. You have to make sure they don't intercept this peg from the original arms. So it's tricky. Like these, I dremeled the holes going up on both sides. And these, I just dremeled the holes going straight, right under that peg. So the pegs for the original arms are going across right under. And they all have the articulation, you know, no paint rub. No paint rub. No paint rub. For the head, I used a Moonstone head, just repainted her, and I repainted her. I used Black Cat's hair. I just trimmed it up. Still need to work on the head, you know, trim it up, smooth it out, resculpt some pieces, resculpt her front hair in here. I don't know what it's called. Resculpt that front part of the hair. Make it look comic accurate. Yeah, I used the original Spiral's feet, her furry boots. What did I do? Yeah, I spliced that little peg they originally have. I spliced that peg off, keeping the little peg that holds that piece in place. I took that off, then I inserted into the knee joint. It has a little circle in there. Fucking blurry. Has the little circle under where the peg goes through, so I just spliced off the original peg off, then inserted the peg this leg has into that knee joint. Then the ankles, I spliced the ankles off. I dremeled the hole into the boot. I had some extra Satana ankles lying around there. Cut them off, trimmed them up, and I insert them into the boot so that they can have, you know, that new articulation. Yeah, so it's a little bit of work. This one's actually was a little bit complicated. You have to think. You have to think before you actually go and start tackling it. And then this Jubilee. This one's a hit. There's some things I don't like about her. The main thing, which is probably the only thing I don't like, is the shoes. I don't know. I try to sculpt the shoelaces on there, but it's too dirty. I don't know. The shoes didn't come out clean, smooth. So I'm just gonna break off this sculpt and just redo them again. Yeah, but this is actually a black cat. I mean, not a black cat, a Spider Girl. The new Spider Girl mold. I made this effect out of hot glue. Looks nice. Yeah, I used black. I used that Spider Girl body. I used a Toy Biz Marvel Legends Rogue arms. I used the Build-A-Figure Jubilee head. I just took off the hair and resculpted this hair. I used the Bav Jubilee's jacket. Added these little straps here with buckle. Yeah, these forearms, I spliced the forearms off of the original Spider Girl and I put them, attached them to that robe. I mean, to that Storm's arms, the jacket arms. They fit nice. And I sculpted the jeans. I still need to finish painting her back pockets. Yeah, but I sculpted all this little detail. Let me take. There you go. Yeah, sculpted this little detail on the jeans. Did a little bit of rough, to give the texture. Sculpted the shirt. All this, I don't know where I got this. I got this from another figure. It's like a spike bracelet. This is based off of a statue I just saw. I don't know what the brand is, but it's a statue that they released to Jubilee. And she looked a lot sexier, still kind of the old original, old classic X-Men costume, but sexy, Yeah, it looks nice. This is just fodder. I forgot where I got this from. Yeah, she looks nice. A lot of people like her. Yeah, the shoes is what I don't like. I'm gonna have to rework the shoes, resculpt them, make them look better. That's just, I don't know, not acceptable. I don't like it. Well, thanks guys for watching. We rarely put a video, so let's see when I'll do a review of. I'm working on an Apocalypse, on a Doomsday. I'm finishing up a Doomsday, and I'm working on an Apocalypse. I'll probably, once I'm done with those, I'll do a review on those figures. Alright everyone, thanks.